Once upon a time, in a deeply lush forest filled with a variety of creatures, there lived a family of rabbits who resided in a burrow under a towering oak tree. The mother rabbit had 4 little bunnies named Hop, Skip, Jump, and Bounce. Every morning, the bunnies would emerge from their burrow to play in the grasses. Their mother rabbit would share stories with them about the forest and all of its different inhabitants, often reminding them to be kind to their neighbors. The bunnies loved exploring the forest, and one day, they happened upon a bustling ant colony carrying grains of sand to their anthill. "Hello, little ants," greeted Bounce. The ants remained focused on their task, too busy to notice the bunnies. "What are you all working so hard for?" asked Hop. A single ant paused to glance up at the bunnies, explaining, "We are working together to gather food for our colony to last us through the winter. We carry grains of sand back to our nest, where we store our seeds to eat." The bunnies found this fascinating and thanked the ant for the lesson. Further on, they discovered a hive of buzzing bees. "Hello, bees," greeted Jump. A bumblebee emerged from the hive. "Greetings, little rabbit friends," he said. "What brings you here?" "We were just wandering and exploring," replied Bounce. "We are busy collecting nectar from the forest flowers to make honey for our hive," explained the bumblebee. "Wow, honey sounds scrumptious," said Hop. "It is very sweet and delicious," said the bumblebee. "Thank you for learning with us." The bumblebee flew back into the hive, and the bunnies continued their exploration. As they wandered through the tall grasses, they happened upon a little frog sitting calmly by a small pond. "Hello there," the bunnies said together. "Why, hello friends," croaked the frog. "What are you up to?" asked Hop. "I'm just sitting here, listening to the beautiful sounds of the forest," replied the frog. "Can you teach us to listen carefully?" asked Jump. "Close your eyes," said the frog. "Listen to the birds singing in the trees, the buzz of the insects, and the whisper of the wind through the foliage." The bunnies listened quietly for a while, then Bounce exclaimed, "Wow! There is so much to hear if you really pay attention." "Thank you for teaching us the joy of listening," said Skip. The frog croaked happily, and the bunnies continued on their way through the marvelous forest. That evening, the bunnies returned home to tell their mother rabbit about all that they had learned. "You've had a day full of wonderful lessons," she said with a smile, "but the most important lesson is this: all the inhabitants of this forest rely on each other and care for each other. Be kind to your neighbors and help them whenever you can, just as they will help you." The bunnies pondered her words and realized she was correct. The next day, the bunnies set out to explore the forest once more. When they found the ants, instead of merely observing, they helped carry grains of sand back to the anthill. The ants expressed their gratitude and taught the bunnies more about their colony. When they spotted the bees collecting nectar, the bunnies held flowers for them so they could gather more honey for their hive. The bees were grateful and invited the bunnies to taste some honey. And when they saw the listening frog again, they sat quietly beside him with closed eyes, enjoying the soothing sounds of the forest filled with inhabitants helping one another. The bunnies hopped happily home, full of wonder at all the joy that comes from kindness and sharing in their marvelous forest home.